What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with a bit of a lucky dip from my own collection, and one rather outside most of the music I listen to in general and on this channel. Meaning, over the years I've picked up other people's record collections, or so-and-so's giving away about 30 records, are you interested? And I go pick them up. So I have a number of records in my collection that surely I would have never sought out, never bought, but just have come into it via other people's donations, essentially. And in some cases, it's for music that, again, is not really a genre or a style that's on my radar normally, but that doesn't mean that I'm not interested and that I can't find something of value or something that catches my ear. And in that regard, as you can see, one of these collections had a trucking music record. And yeah, I think this is from the 1970s, which I understand to be, the sort of the peak of the trucking song genre. And yeah, there's a number of artists on here, and one of the tracks on Keep On Truckin' is by Red Simpson. And I remember when I first went through this record, when I was like, oh, where did this come from? And I put it on. This tune, Diesel Smoke Dangerous Curves, was the one that stood out to me the most, the one that I thought was the catchiest, and which I like kind of the dangerous dramatic sound, which relates to the lyrics. More on that in a moment. But yes, I looked up Red Simpson, and apparently he's a country artist, or he was a country artist. I think he has passed away. But he's known for being representative of the Bakersfield style, which is interesting to me. Bakersfield is in California, and I have been to it a couple times, usually just on my way to Vegas, meaning I haven't really spent any time there, though I have passed through the city limits. And yeah, in a way it surprises me, because it's a California city, so the idea that one of the subgenres of country music is named after a California city is unusual, but in the same breath I'll say that it's not that weird, because Bakersfield, it really does feel kind of like an anomalous enclave within a larger state that is very much unlike it. Meaning, my recollection of Bakersfield is that it felt like, wow, it's kind of like, almost like the American South in California, which, to be clear, I'm not really throwing any value judgments, and I'm not throwing any shade at any people who happen to be from Bakersfield. But again, my sense when I was there is oh, this is very different from where I live in Orange County, which is already a bit different than larger California in some respects. But as I said, I understand that Red Simpson his music is sort of country music in the Bakersfield way, and he's made some songs that are about trucking, maybe this one most famously. And yeah, the song, Diesel Smoke Dangerous Curves, diesel engines that a lot of, 18-wheelers use, I think all 18-wheelers, right? And then the lyrics are about kind of the life of a trucker. He's, hauling freight across the highways, and then at nighttime he's going to these truck stops and these trucker bars, and he's drinking with his buddies, but he's kind of sore, and he's, tired, and he's worried that he's not getting enough sleep, and he's meeting these pretty waitresses, and, I don't know if this is a derogatory term, I suppose it is, but lot lizards, women who hang around truck stops, and I think he references a couple different ones. And by the end of the tune, his brakes have given out, and he has to downshift and try to, maybe go off the highway to try to prevent from, careening off a cliff, or, plowing into another truck or a series of cars. So it's dangerous in his health, it's dangerous in his social life, because again, some of these ladies, it's he's attracted, but he doesn't quite know what to expect, and then it's dangerous in his actual occupation, in a literal sense of dangerous curves, diesel smoke by the end. So yeah, as I said, this is not really a style of music that I normally listen to, but when I discovered this record was suddenly in my collection several years ago, this was the track that stood out to me, and I've had it in mind to react to it for a while, so we're here to do it. This is from the Keep On Truckin' compilation, Red Simpson, and his song Diesel Smoke Dangerous Curves.
I'm driving this truck on a mountain road. I got a hot rod rig and I'm a flying low. My eyes are filled with diesel smoke. Hairpin curves ain't no Joe. Diesel smoke, dangerous curve. I was out last night drinking beer with the guys, got an aching head and bloodshot eyes. I met up with a pretty little dame, I didn't even know her name. Diesel smoke, danger's curve. If I deliver this hotshot freight, I gotta get her going cause I'm running late. These mountain grapes are mighty steep, can't stay awake, I ain't had no sleep. Diesel smoke, danger's curve. There's a cute little waitress at the bottom of the grade. She's got the coffee already made. I gotta keep my eyes up on the road cause I'm going down the hill with a heavy load. Diesel smoke, danger's curve. Well, I must have closed my eyes for a while cause here I am and I'm a running wild. I burnt my brakes, stripped my gears, gonna have to ride her down, I fear. Diesel smoke, danger's curve. I wish I'd have left the women alone, but it's too late now cause I think I'm gone. I got myself into this fix just because I tried to mix. Diesel smoke, danger's curve. Diesel smoke, danger's curve.
I like his extension on curves there. A quick fade. But yeah, again, like, I don't listen to country music, which, again, is not really a knock. It's just not what I grew up listening to, and it's, you know, in some ways very different from a lot of what I do listen to, like, you know, hardcore punk rock and early hardcore and acid techno and, you know, synth pop and so on. But nevertheless, when I heard this song, as I said, it really did catch my ear. It's like, oh, that's a catchy tune, and I like two parts of it sonically especially, and his voice, which, you know, is kind of that, like, storyteller, like, it just feels like a, you know, a guy who comes from a rural place with a guitar and he's going to sit here and tell you a story by singing a song. But, number one, I like that kind of strummy, energetic main guitar line, and I love, mostly in the chorus, that two-stroke, like, twangy guitar line. Like, I don't know if there's some effect on it or, like, the way that sound is achieved, but that bow, bow, I really can't do it. That's a terrible impression. But yeah, that two-note or like two-chord bit during the chorus, I really do like that sound in conjunction with the like main more kind of energetic guitar line. I do also like the like shuffle percussive rhythm. It has this like really shuffling rhythm. It's not, you know, like a, you know, ride cymbal and a big snare and so on. It's just kind of these shuffling percussion grooves, and yeah, it works. And I did forget, it sounds like at the end he's, you know, saying his last prayers, like he's convinced, you know, his gears are stripped, he can't stop, the hill is too steep, and the freight is too heavy, and he's probably going to careen off of the edge on one of these hairpin curves. So yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to go well, and all because he wanted to party with his friends and put up with some dame, and, you know, maybe drank a bit too much coffee the next morning, and his head hurts, and, you know, hasn't gotten enough sleep. So yeah, there's like a whole life and a whole lifestyle especially that is indicated by the lyrics, even if we're just kind of getting a couple snapshots, seemingly like with the last one, you know, again, being right before the truck careens over the edge. But yeah, again, it's a cool tune. I probably won't be reacting to more country, or certainly, you know, it'll be a pretty rare thing, but ultimately, I mean, I guess, you know, some of the Fleetwood Mac catalog, it kind of has this country vibe, so it's not entirely outside of what I listen to, although I would say that is more like, you know, pop rock meets a bit of a country flavor and so on, but whereas this is kind of like more straight away country, and in this case, like trucking song country, which I think is like an even more specific subgenre. But yeah, it's a fun tune. As I said, I've been meaning to react to it for a while, and I have now finally gotten to it. Luca, you can observe and tell me what you think. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.